I just recently sent you this particular study. It's a long document, and it's a part of what I'm going to do by helping you to be able to write good, clear sentences, paragraphs, essays in English. Now this is the grammar section of this. It has to do with the structure of the sentences themselves. There is definite structure in English. It's not flexible. You have to follow the rules emphatically. It's important and for clarity and for understanding. And if you're going to take the TOEFL test, it's important that your grammar would be correct. Now this is on the indirect objects. Of course, it contains the direct object, but a reason why they are concentrating on the direct object is that it's two objects in a sentence, and it's to explain to you how to handle the two objects. We all know what an object is, which of course is the object of a verb. And in this case, we have the object. The father is the subject, and you've got to remember that in English, subject, verb, object, indirect object, so forth is a general pattern of a English sentence. So we have the father, which is the subject. Then we have the verb, which is gives. In this case, we have the indirect object and then the direct object. And this is a definite pattern. You must do it this way. In this particular case, when you have the indirect object and then the direct object, my father often gives me a gift. Now the A is a article which indicates one gift. You can say the gift or a gift. This is a indefinite article. My father gives me a gift. The other form is my father often gives a gift to me. Now that's when we have the form of direct object and indirect object, which is often the general form most commonly used. But the important thing I want to point out here in this arrangement, my father gives, a gift. Now, the gift itself receives the action from the father. It gives gift. So that's why it's a direct object. And the article indicates how many gifts? A gift, one gift. Or I could say the father gives two gifts, of course using the conjugation of that. Okay, the father often gives a gift to me. Now we have to use, it's different than up here, because we have to indicate here a direction to me. Okay, the object receives the gift directly, and indirectly I receive the gift, but I have to use the preposition to indicate direction. Okay, now these things can be confusing, especially the prepositions. So I want you, in those cases, to find out why we use to. In order to do that, we need to use the dictionary. There is a free dictionary called dictionary.com. Just go to dictionary.com. You can get the link to that, and then you can enter in the word and get a definition, a really good definition. And you can see here that we have the word for, and if you touch here or click here, it will pronounce the word for you, so you don't have to guess at its pronunciation. The first definition, which is usually the most common definition, we have with the object or purpose of. Okay, that is the first definition. Okay, for example, it gives to run for exercise. Object or purpose, object. Number 2, intended to belong to or be used in connection with. And here it gives the example, equipment for the army. A closet for dishes. Okay, those are the two that we're most interested in, and it's intended to belong to or to be used in connection with. Okay, so look up the word, you'll get a definition. It will help you understand why we use that particular word, in this case, this particular preposition. Well, more or less that definition was more or less for this sentence. But if you put in a, of course, it's an article, a gift. But to it indicates a direction of some type. Okay? We go down to some verbs may use the following two patterns. These are different patterns. We have in this case, an indirect object and a direct object. What's the difference? Well, really there's no difference, because up here we have the same pattern and we use this article. John usually buys Mary a gift. In this case, we have the pattern of direct object and object, but we use the preposition for. And as it indicated in the dictionary, it's included. It's for the purpose of, or Mary buys a gift for the purpose of giving it to Mary, more or less. Under here we have that they pointed out that these patterns particularly go with, to say the first one, go with these words like send. My father often sends me a gift. My father often offers me a gift. And you can see the same pattern in the second example. In this case, we have the words fix, make, and get. And I can say that John usually makes a gift for Mary. These are verbs that are most commonly used with this pattern. Here we have another pattern. Okay, they follow this pattern. Direct object, object with to. He explains his idea to us. Well, we've had that example in the other ones, but it's used a lot with these type of words: announces, describe, deliver, meantime, say, report, return. He described his idea to us. And then in the second pattern, we have number 4, that I asked Mary a question, indirect object, direct object. Okay? So we have the pattern, I asked Mary a question. That's very much like the other pattern, but it gives that, it more or less goes with verbs like cost and charge. I more or less the cost. I asked Mary, well, you, okay, you. So we have this pattern here. Okay, so let's go down. What I like about this one, it gives you examples of what is wrong and what is right. Okay, so we have here, it says wrong. Susan's friend sent to her a beautiful silk dress from China. That is not wrong. If we check the pattern, you know, Susan's friend sent her. Okay, not to her. It's like this example here, which is given this example. Susan's friend sent her a beautiful silk dress from China. Okay, so we have sent is the verb. Sent what? Well, what should follow that should be the object, silk dress. To whom? Okay, who received the object? You can say her. So what is correct is Susan's friend sent her a beautiful. Okay, we're going up here. Okay, a beautiful silk dress from China. Or they're saying it could be Susan's friend sent a beautiful silk dress to her from China. Okay, so when we put it in this form, where the direct object, or you know, where the indirect object follows the direct object, we've used the word to. Then we can go to the next one. John fixed the broken lamp to Harold. Okay, that doesn't work because here we use the preposition for. What purpose? He fixed a broken lamp for what purpose? For Harold. John fixed a broken lamp for Harold. Okay, that is correct. This is incorrect. We do not use to because it means direction. This means for what purpose? For Harold. The professor explained me the difficult point of grammar. Well, anyhow, in this case, he is explaining what? He's explaining the difficult case. That's a direct object to this. Here we have another example. The professor explained me the difficult point of grammar. Okay, this is not correct. Simply before it, the professor explained. Okay, this is a indirect object, and this is the direct object. Okay, so the professor explained to me the difficult point of grammar. Here they have their example. The professor explained the difficult point of grammar to me. It can be in either form. Here we have another example. This is wrong, as it's indicated here. Get the sound of what is wrong and what is right. Really, the best way to know grammar is not the rules, because we generally don't do that. What we want is what sounds right. The new suit costs over $40 to me. Well, this is not correct as far as sound is concerned. What does sound correct, and that's the way I understand it, the new suit cost me over $40, okay? So it costs me. I'm the object of the cost, okay? The new suit costs me over $40, okay? And then we have another example. The store charged over $15 to me to alter the jacket I bought, okay? And what you need to do in these cases, if you have any, in other words, if you really want to understand this, and it's not too difficult, is to refer back to the instructions on this particular arrangement. The store charged me, okay, charged me. I received the action, over $15 to alter the jacket to me. Okay, always refer back to the instructions here on this and find a pattern that matches the sentence you're trying to construct. Okay, let's go back down again, and not that one yet. And then we have what I call skill builders. Okay, and you're going to choose which one is correct and which one is not correct. If you have not come to the point where you understand them by the sound, refer back to the examples, instructions. We return the defective merchandise to the store immediately. Okay, what pattern is that? Well, let's take a look at the patterns above. We can say that it fits this first pattern. Okay, and it's more or less the type of verb, but this is the first pattern. You essentially only have really two patterns, but it depends on whether you use an article or whether you use a preposition or which preposition you use. So here we have preposition to and for, which appears in these examples, and we have the article a that goes before the direct object, okay? If we look at the Spanish of this, it would be me da. That is the way it is in Spanish, so it's difficult to compare the two because of the way that you handle objects and direct objects. But just try to understand how it is in English. Just go through these and answer them the best you can. If you go down below, you will have the answers. You can compare them, and it will give you where there is some difference.